I know. Are we live? Are we live? Knock, knock. We live
Deer in
yet?
the headlights.
Okay, I think it's live. All
Okay.
right, 4 p.m. Pacific time right now. Erik, we have Erik here, as you guys can see. Erik, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good, awesome. I know you probably would take advantage of this time to actually get some nap because you just did the Goggins challenge, and I'm not sure how much sleep you got last night. But first of all, I really appreciate your time to taking time, find a Starbucks to get some internet and to charge your laptop. I know you're very busy, so first of all, I want to appreciate you and thank you.
Well, thank you for the invite. I appreciate it.
Of course. So, well, everyone, those who's tuning in, as I said, I'm so new to this live Facebook, and I'm really wanting to give the best value on this group. So, allow me to introduce Erik Larson. He's from Arizona, and today I'll get a chance to talk more to him, more than I've been talking to him like in coaching. But Erik is a busy dad of 4 who's winning races. Short distance races, and actually at the top in his age group. Right now, he's training for Ironman Coeur or CDA Ironman Arizona. And believe it or not, with only 1 hour or less training availability on weekdays. And a lot of them, sometimes, if it's only 1 hour, he would even like, Coach, I had to cut the training because something came up. So now a lot of the mom and dad triathletes often tell me about the pressure and the concerns. Like, I have so much things to do. I mean, it's common. It's common challenge for a lot of mom and dad triathletes, especially not just the family, but also the work commitments and then the stress, and then it all adds up, right? Plus, we don't know what's going on with the races, right? And then a lot of us are staying at home. So I said, like, I think Erik would be the best person, one of the best person that I can actually interview today. So we'll learn from him today. Especially, so today, Erik and I will discuss first, like, how is Erik getting faster and stronger with only 1 hour or less? Wouldn't you want to know that, right, Erik?
Right.
Because I actually checked your training peaks before coaching. You were training a lot more.
Yeah.
You were training like 2 hours on weekdays. I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. It's like
when I look back at that.
two workouts. I was checking it out. And then on weekends, you were also training. I mean, you're still training on weekends also, but then there's a lot of co-curricular activities with your kids, right?
Right.
So I check his training peak, especially because, he already told me, hey, coach, I can only do 1 hour, right? So I do my best to keep it that way. And then the next thing is that how is he able to stay sane? I mean, look at him. He looks normal, right? Normal dad, normal athlete. I think, yeah, this is sane.
Right.
All right, with everything on his plate. Okay. Well, so as I said, 4 kids, he runs his own business. And then on weekends, a lot of athletes usually just go out, do long workouts. For him, it's limited because he wants to take his kids to mountain bike ride or attend his daughter for a gymnastic competition or meet or do some work at the home, right? So we want to know, like, how does he keep himself sane? And the next thing is that, what does he do when unexpected events relating to his kids pop up? Okay. So is everyone excited today? If you guys can see us live, #live, so I know who's live right now, and say hello. And then those who's just watching this one as a replay, just #replay. All right. So, Erik, you just did your Goggins 4x4 by 48.
Yes.
And how are you doing today?
I'm sore.
You're sore? No, you said something else.
But I'm doing
You
good.
walk funny.
Walking funny for sure. Tight legs, and the sleep isn't too bad. I got pretty good sleep last night, but I definitely woke up this morning feeling it.
Good. What a lot of people didn't know, actually. That's why I was so surprised. What a lot of people didn't know, I'm going to share it to you my screen right now, is that he messaged me. Is it okay to share this image the pants, Erik?
Oh, why not?
All right. Well, Erik and I talk a lot, and this is one of the messages that he sent me. Coach, I cannot do my swim workout because something happened at work. It was an accident. Tell me more, just a short one. What happened?
I was using a power tool. I wasn't being unsafe, just I was in a very awkward position, and it bound up and fell out of my hands and fell into my lap and got tied up on my clothes and ripped my clothes apart, and gave me some burning in some bad areas and on my legs. So it was very uncomfortable.
So for other people, so they can understand what you do, tell us what you do first. Why are you messing up with this power tools? Are you just one of those kids?
I'm in construction. I do custom kitchens. We build kitchens and install them. And I was cutting some granite for a countertop, and it was for a cooktop that drops in. And I was cutting from underneath to get the corners. And
there you go.
I probably shouldn't have been doing that, but sometimes you're in a time crunch and you just don't think things through all the way, and it was just a bad situation. And
I think it's a accident.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And your area, construction area of work, things can happen. And but if I just want to tell you, by the way, you're very creative. I saw the pictures of the kitchen you've designed. Amazing work. But like I said, like the accident actually happened. When was this one? Thursday?
Oh, that was Thursday. Yeah. Thursday afternoon.
And then suddenly I saw a post. It was Friday. And then you said, hey, coach. Oh, no, actually, you did not tell me. You basically just said, I just saw it. I said, Erik, what's happening? You're doing Goggins. I thought you were not going to do it because, something's going on the weekend. So yeah, anyways, so what I'm trying to tell you guys here is that what a lot of people didn't know is that accident happened. And so he was actually putting some neoprene for the burns. And then so when he actually did the Goggins, which is a 4 miles every 4 hours, within 48 hours, he was already dealing with something. But for Erik, in his head, as you guys know already, because he completed it successfully, he said, the burn's not gonna make me not run. He just needs 2 legs that actually move forward. Is that what your thoughts were?
Yeah, I had been wanting to do it for long. I saw it a long time ago before Goggins even started talking about it.
Gotcha.
About the one coming up, because he does it every year.
Right.
But I read his book and I caught it on a Joe Rogan interview, and I said I'm going to do that. And then when he announced it, and then other people started talking about it, it was like, okay, here we go. And then it just, the way circumstances were working out, it didn't look like I was going to be able to do it. But there's that thing in the back of your head that's like, God, I really really still want to do that. Yeah. And then the accident happened, but then I also was able to finish that project on Friday afternoon. Mm-hmm. And so it was just like, and then some other circumstances changed. My girlfriend was able to take my boys to the race, and just a bunch of things kind of came together, and it was like, okay, I'm not going to forgive myself if I don't do this. So I'm gonna just get.
And are you happy with what you did?
Yeah, I mean, the goal was to do it and complete it. I didn't really know. I didn't go into it with any time expectations or pace expectations. Right. I honestly thought it was going to be a lot easier. It was, on the surface, it looks really simple. Sure. But it surprised me. Yeah. By, the time I was, into my 6th or 7th run, it was like, oh man, I'm ready to stop.
Was it mentally or physically or everything else?
Yeah. Because I thought I'd have more time to kind of get some things done in between the runs, because it's every 4 hours.
Yeah.
The run takes, a half hour to 40 minutes. And then it's like, okay, well, I'll have 3 hours in between to do this or that. But, you've got to get your nutrition. You've got to, hydrate. It's like that 3 hours goes by really fast. And all of a sudden it's like, this is going to be my entire weekend. Yeah. This is going to be my entire weekend.
Yeah. But yeah, so again, congratulations.
Thank you.
But that's the only achievement that he just did out of the blue. But because he was able to do that because he's been consistently training, okay? Not necessarily the big volume like a lot of other athletes expect, themselves to do, like, as I said, when I was looking at your training peaks before the coaching, I saw like 2 workouts on one day. It could be like 40 minutes back to back, 40 minutes, another 1 hour, another, you know, a same day. And you were doing that. But this time, and I'm just gonna, before that, let me see. So I wanted to tell you guys how we first met Erik. I know Erik is just like you, everyone else in this group. Erik was just hanging around, I believe. Tell me, was it you were hanging around, and then I had the swim boot camp?
Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of somehow I got invited to like the site, and I started.
Okay.
You know, I think you
Sure.
probably sent me an invite somehow. Probably saw me on the Ironman site or something, and
Yeah.
so I attended a few of the meetings and saw a few of the videos, and
Sure.
then I saw that you were doing the boot camp, and it was like, okay, I think you did one boot camp, and I kind of saw that happen, and then when you announced the second one, I was like, I'm jumping in on this one for sure.
So, Erik, I know before the you have finished already a full Ironman before, right? Before the boot camp. But then, so that means you are an experienced, you know, you have some experience with triathlon Ironman already. But then, you know, why did you believe that that boot camp would actually help you? Like, why did you sign up?
Oh,
Did you
the
need help on
swim,
swimming?
yeah, I mean, I was swimming like every day. I really fell in love with the swimming, and I hadn't had any swimming experience before that. But
Yeah.
just getting in the water, just going, like my gym
Oh,
at the time opened at
yeah.
4 a.m. And that was the only opportunity that I had to train, you know, so the kids were still sleeping and I would wake up and go to the gym. It was just a perfect way to start the day. And it was just the peacefulness of it and just moving and being in the water. It was great, but I couldn't get any faster. And I
What
just,
was your pace? Do you remember?
you know,
It's a long time ago. I forgot it.
probably like around 210 per 100, you know, 2 minutes,
Wow.
10 seconds per 100.
Yeah.
I think when I looked back when I started, I was doing like 235, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and so I remember at like 210, I was like, man, this is cool, you know, and, you know, started feeling like I was moving, but then I would see videos of like swimmers, you know,
Faster,
and I
looking
would see their
smooth.
times and it was just like, how is that even possible? You know, it just
Yeah.
it didn't seem attainable.
Yeah.
And
So
so I was like, I need some help, you know,
yeah.
I
So
need some.
those actually we have people watching, Fanny, Lisa, and Joe. Hello. Happy Monday. So those people who have 230, 220, see what's coming up. Okay, just stick with it. But I wanted to show you. So Erik already finished Ironman, half Ironman, but I wanted to show you when he did the boot camp. I'm going to show you of how he was feeling, not this one when it's already done. And right here, he actually said, Coach, that was February 13, 2020. I have a lot to unlearn with a sniffing horse. This video was after half dozen attempts watching and rewatching the videos. I'm taking in less water. I still feel like my shoulders. So he's very detailed, which is what I really like that he does that, because I'm able to understand where he's coming from. Because remember, he's in Arizona. Okay, so the more details you get, then the more I actually understand. Try not to lock my elbow. Really detailed. Side kicking with my right side. So now I'm gonna let's see how he's doing. So he went back to basics. And then he did his diligent effort to actually give feedback in order for me to actually really understand where he's coming from. So that's how he was. Do you remember this when you took this video?
Yeah, I forgot about it. I remember now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember, Facebook captures everything.
Yeah, I know. God, and these drills were so frustrating for such a long time.
Yes. You see the rotation there? I don't know, since we're on the video here, you guys can see that one. One of the things that I had to correct with Erik is actually his rotation. He is lacking rotation here. You know, when you do the side kicking, your shoulder needs to be up.
Yeah.
So this one is lacking rotation. He's almost flat, but we corrected that. And then also what I had a great advantage also is that when he came to California to have fun with us. And that's the first time when I actually to meet him in person. And this was him and I. And literally when we met, so when we met at the time, I had to hold his body. I had to hold his body, kind of like, just to correct his not mistakes, it's more faulty technique or faulty habits that got stuck to him after finishing the full Ironman. Like the more you swim, it's kind of like it's harder to break the habits. So that was the first time that I met him in person. And the next thing, guess what? So this is one of the things that we've captured also. This was his improvement. He actually became the Feisty Fox Shark. Feisty Fox Shark is because he improved from, let me see, before. So he was pretty fast then already, but he got faster. Okay. This one is focusing on swimming only. He got from 149 to 134. Can you believe that, Erik? You were super happy on that one. Look at you, super happy. Yeah. Good job. So
that picture was when I got rolled in the waves just right after.
Well, you were so happy. I think you were elated. You're already like on the shore.
A big washing machine. It tumbled me around a little bit, and then I came running out.
Yeah. So his best time for 70.3 is 5:28, and then his first Ironman also is 12:41. That was back when everything was still going. And we were planning to race last year. Unfortunately, races got canceled. He was able to race 70.3 Arizona, and at the same time, because he is such an adventurer guy. Whenever I thought of something, he's like, yeah, I think I can do that, coach. Let's do it. He's like, let's do it, especially if it sounds crazy. Well, kind of crazy. So one of the things that he had done was actually the V Everesting. So the V Everesting, I mean, honestly, at the time, we were not really fully loaded just indoor training because, it was just the COVID just started. But then I myself also got curious, like, what is this V Everesting that people are doing? And then that's when he actually did this. Let me make sure it's up. So he actually trained for V Everesting in about 6 weeks. When I said, hey, Erik, hey, Cruz, hey, Sakti, can we do V Everesting? Let's do V Everesting together. So that's what we did. And he finished it also. And this was his V Everesting. He finished it moving time 19 hours because he took a shower in the middle.
Took a lot of cold showers, yeah.
Yeah, because he was falling asleep. And then the next thing is Erik. Yeah, he surprised me with different things. So, like when we were training for 70.3 Arizona, he also asked, Coach, what about if I do the rim to rim to rim? There's something going on here. Okay. So, and then that's when I have to think, okay, Erik, what do you really want? The rim to rim or the 70.3 Arizona? Because they're different. What would make you happy? And he said, like, I really want that rim to rim. And it was actually short notice too, but we did our best. And whenever we
days or something like that. So
yeah, there was so if you're watching this one, if you have something that if you're one of those athletes that get excited like a kid, I want that candy there, which is what Erik does to me. So I listen first, and then now I tell him like what are the pros and cons, what are the risks, and then the next thing, okay, Erik, what would make you happy? And I support you, but these are the risks. I'll be here to support you. And one of the things is like, it's just like a lot of communication. So if you a lot of other coaches or even books, it's like black and white. Don't do this, do this. Or other coaches, no, you can't do that. You have not trained. But for me, because there's a lot of communication that I put into it, and also because I myself tend to break the rules of the books, and I have my own loopholes, then like it's just really a lot of communication and then listening to the body. So I see Erik more of an individual only, and then he's different from other individuals. So what he did here, he actually was like 10 days of fully load, just a lot of communication training, and he finished the rim to rim 42 miles 11,500 feet. Do you mind just give us a short how was it? How was the experience? Because I know a lot of other athletes here also wants to do this one. Like it's one of their buckets. Tell us.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was, a huge endeavor, like just to take it on. But it was, what happened was there's a local pro that he does triathlons, and he was planning with a group to do the rim to rim to rim, and he put it out there. And I sent him a message and said, hey, is this open to anyone? I told him a little bit about, what I'd done, where I was, um, in my fitness, I guess, and was without being like, I know I can do this. I wanted to tell him like, I'm pretty sure I can do this, but like, I don't want to slow anybody down. I don't want to be a burden, but I think I can do this. And he said, yeah, come on, join us. So we did it. And it was, what's really cool about it is it turned out all of the other people that I joined are people that I've been racing with for 2 years now that I had no clue.
Cool. Oh, okay.
And so now when I look back at those old race rosters, I see all these familiar names, and it's like, oh, this is really cool. I've been racing with these guys for a while.
Right.
So yeah, it was still kind of a solo effort. We all went at our own pace, and you gave me a lot of tips on the nutrition and what was going to be needed, and he also had a really good program put together of what to expect.
Yeah.
And I did it. It wasn't easy, but I did it.
But you were happy. Again, going back to like, if you have regrets, I was actually waiting for you to finish because I'm like, okay, where's Erik?
Yeah, that was
like 11 p.m.
Yeah, it was like going into it and having this, okay, well, here's how long I expect it to take me, but without having any clue of what to expect during the process. So the whole time I was still looking at my clock, hoping to make that time. And it took a little bit longer, but yeah, it came out okay.
I think what's great about it is that you're not afraid to actually take on some new adventures, I'd say. Like the rim to rim. You've raced also mountain biking race. We're in these are hardcore bike racing in Arizona, where it really kicked your butt, but you got really the experience.
Yeah, it gave me a lot of respect for those guys too. So
yeah. All right, good. But then so my question is that before the coaching, how was it before? I know before you were putting a lot of hours. Is there anything else that you were doing before that changed now? Because let me just show you. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and show your training piece. Is that okay, Erik?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Okay, so this is Erik's training peaks right now. It's March, as you guys can see. So if those who are new to training peaks, the red is that when he did not meet the workout. There's a few of them. Orange is like, like maybe a little bit short or more than I expected. But as you guys can see, it's not just swim, bike, and run, but there's body maintenance to make sure that he's actually, we're being proactive, not to be injured. And also we're focusing on some strength. But a lot of it is just really under 1 hour. So like, for example, this one, progressive hills. And this is very specific on the hill that's around his house, with specific paces. So here is like only 48 minutes that he had done. Other than that, he didn't put anything else. 58 minutes, 50 minutes, 58 minutes, 25 minutes. But of course, it doesn't include the drive, right? So those are the things that, that we need to consider. But a lot of this ones, as I said, he's only training 1 hour or less. How was it before? How were you training before?
So I'm only in my second year. I think this is like this next weekend is the anniversary of like my first, triathlon. And
Crazy.
that first year I think was just building a lot of the technique and a lot of the just general, base to even be able to run without getting hurt. And, biking was just totally new to me. So I think just the little bit of extra experience and a little bit of extra base has helped a lot. God, I don't.
Are you busier this time?
Yes and no.
Or you just limited? You just tell me, hey, coach, I just only want 1 hour.
Yeah,
It's your problem to think about a best program you can get.
no, the first year I was doing like 2-a-days and then long weekends too. I was doing, religiously 6 day a week
Yeah,
workouts.
you were.
And I think I was probably working a lot harder, which is strange. But like I said, I didn't have any of that base to go by. So a lot of the runs
Gotcha.
were just zone 2 runs. They were, long, long runs, like long period of time, but
Sure.
very slow pace,
Yeah, yeah.
so just a lot of that. But, it's evolved differently. After COVID last year, my girlfriend moved in with me. And I have 3 kids of my own. She has a kid of her own, and we all live under the same roof, and it's
Right.
a jungle sometimes, and
You got
Hunter,
kids coming over.
yeah, Liz's son shares time with his dad too. So, but for the
Right.
most part, it's still a pretty full house. But Liz has helped me a ton through the training, and
Okay. Good.
taken on a lot of responsibilities, with the kids and stuff. So that's helped a ton. With work, I went from a bunch of employees down to like
Yes.
1 or 2,
Yeah.
and so that's taken less management, and
Right.
I think I've taken less on with my work also,
Right.
and I've just learned to kind of um,
Manage the time.
yeah, and try to relax a little bit and not get so
Good.
stressed out when things
I'm
aren't
really
getting done, and going with the flow, just like things
yeah.
don't always work according to plan, and
Good.
so you just have to learn how to kind of adapt. And a lot of times I think I'm saying like, okay, what now? It's like, okay, this didn't work out, but what can I do now? Instead
I
of,
love that. Yeah.
yeah, instead of like freaking out that things didn't go the way you wanted them to, because it never does.
Did you guys get that? Those who are watching this live, he just said some keynotes there. When things don't go well, you adapt. Did I say it right, Erik?
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of,
Don't stress out.
what now? What can I do now?
Good.
And I think I've learned to, I'm still like a work in progress. I know
Sure.
that I still have a long ways to go. There's still guys in my age group. Like I've gotten a couple good finishes, but some of those guys weren't at the races, and I know that there's still a long ways to go, and I know there's still a lot to do, but I'm happy with my progress, and I'm happy with the fact that I'm consistently improving.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned to value my sleep a lot more, even though I
Yeah,
don't
good.
always do so well with that.
Yeah.
When it gets to the end of the day, it's like, okay, it's time to shut it off. I didn't get it done with everything I wanted to today, but I'm not going to get it all done in the next 2 hours. I need to go to sleep and start over again tomorrow.
So do you think the mindset changed from before then? Because right now you're more like, hey, I need to take care of myself, or like you're more, or I need to just chill and not stress out so much. Do you think that was some improvements there be done before, or you've been always like that?
No, I haven't always been like that,
You
and
have not. So
that's
you just
definitely changed.
oh, that's amazing.
Getting the injuries that I had last year and the surgery and stuff like that. I mean, that kind of
Ooh,
taught me to slow down a little bit, and
good,
taught me that I don't always need to go 100 miles an hour.
good.
Um, I think the quality of the workouts is a lot more important than
Mm-hmm.
just being busy. I thought that the more time I put in, the better I was getting. And it
Right.
was, I think there's a lot of importance in recovery,
Yep.
and in your mental health.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
The boys started mountain biking through school, so I got a mountain bike and went mountain biking with them. So that's really good training, really good
Mm-hmm.
training, but it was like enjoyable at the same
Yep.
time. I got something different out of that. Um, Increased my hiking a ton and trail running a ton.
Yep.
Those have been very therapeutic mentally, in kind of relieving stress. And it's just very zen. I get out there and it's just, I'm in a different world, and it's really great.
Yeah.
So
So just for everyone's information. So yeah, so Erik does have those. He values those meditation hike And to me, I always listen. Okay, what does the athlete makes? What does it makes? Oh my God, my English. What does it make him happy? There you go. And when he says something, hey, coach, I would like to do this, then I listen and then I do my best to fit it in. So that's what I like about Erik. And then also the other thing is that Erik does his best to actually really read the workouts, does his best, and ask. So, for example, if I have like 2% to 3% grade of hill, he would actually measure it. And coach, is this okay? So he would actually go to the hill and then give me the percentage or some numbers, and then like, no, that's too steep, right? So that's what I like about it. And then so it matches because I look at the data. And one of the things, and also because I don't want him to be driving so much. And I think we were there. Hopefully I can get it back. Okay, so yeah, so I was showing that earlier. So he found a hill. He found a hill nearby. And hey, coach, I found a hill. It's perfect. So now, as you guys can see here, it's very detailed. So this is how he's, oh, no, not this one. Sorry. Let's go back here. So here, progressive hills. So it actually says 2.5. Hopefully I can make it bigger. Let me see. There you go. So he told me about this hill around his area. So warm up flat. I have a specific pace. And then now he goes to 2.5 to 3.0. Of course, it's not going to be like exact, right? But he can feel the difference because it's really a dramatic change. There's the very steep one there. So now I want him to change the pace. The thing about with Erik is I like, coach, I really just want you to tell me the pace so I don't have to think so much. I don't know, is the right word, but yeah, that's what he told me, because he has a tendency to push harder than it should, and it could get him in trouble. So that's one of the things with his workout. And the good part also with the workouts is that whenever he has, so I look at the data. Let's just say, he does, let's say, okay, so this one is a bike portion. And I look at and analyze it. Oh my God, this guy is really, it's so easy peasy for him. I don't want him to be bored, So I do challenge them, but in a way that is realistic to where they're at. And honestly, it's funny because when I was new and I was doing the track workout, and I said, Coach, I told my coach before, I want to qualify for Boston. And then he put me on a pace that I couldn't even meet. Like, oh my God, this is insane. So when Erik said specific workouts, that's what I was trying to go at. Let me make sure I cover. So so tell me, how does your day go? So I know it's 4:30. Is it okay to extend 10 minutes, Erik? 5-10 minutes?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay, all right, good. I'm watching my time. So like, could you tell me how does your day go? So do you wake up early in the morning? Like, what's your routine in the morning? I know you wake up early in the morning, do your workout, and then right there, like all work now, right?
Yeah, I try to get my stuff done in the morning because otherwise I know that the day just gets away from me. So, and it's like that, eat that frog. You just try to get the hard stuff done with first, and it makes my day so much better too. I just feel so much better and alert and like I'm ready to take it on.
What time do you usually wake up?
So it varies on what I need to do and where I need to be, but anywhere from 3:30 to 4 a.m. I wake up and I try to be out the door by, if I've got to swim, like you said, sometimes it can be an hour swim, but there's, the time that it takes to get there, to get ready, to get in the water, to get back out, get changed for work and all of that. So yeah, sometimes I can run right from home. I've learned that if I if I run at home and then I go back home and get ready at home, it takes a lot longer than if I get out the door and then I get close to work and I do my run there somewhere just random and then just go to work. I have the, benefit of, I work construction, so if I break a little sweat before work, it's not a huge deal. I'm just gonna get dirty and sweaty during the day anyways,
So you plan ahead of time.
Yeah, or I'll do a run next to my club. I have LA Fitness, and those are all over the place. So if I need to grab a quick shower, I can do it at the club, and that's a lot faster for me than doing it at home. So.
Yeah. So right now, like, in terms of besides sports, like what are the big stresses that you have to go through during the week? Usual, or something comes up that you don't expect.
Just
And
in
how,
general?
yeah, and how do you deal with it? Like, let's say you have a workout to do and then suddenly something comes up. Like, what's the process? What comes into your head? Do you get stressed out? Yeah, like if you can walk me through of how you think about it when something comes up and you have a training, right?
Yeah, no, it stresses me out a little bit because first of all, I don't like, we've had this conversation, but I I hate it when reasons sound like excuses. I don't want to become like an excuse
A
person. Like,
complainer.
and I can feel that creeping in sometimes. And sometimes it might be a reason the first time, but then it's very easy next time to let that reason give you an out and turn into an excuse after a while. And it's very easy to let that attitude creep in. So I try not to let that happen. But
How do you do it then?
well, with my job, like things are always coming up, so I'm just used to
Sure.
that.
Okay.
Anyways, I always try to have my gear with me, so I have a couple different bags. I have a bag for running and a bag for swimming.
Good.
And so if I miss a workout, then I'll try to hit the pool later on, and at least I've got my stuff with me. Running's easy because all that takes is a pair of shorts and a pair
Sure.
of shoes, and
Yeah.
you can run anywhere, you know. So I try to
Yeah.
have my stuff with me. If I miss a workout in the morning, I'll try to catch it later on during the day.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes you know things just happen, and you just have to try to figure out how to make it work instead of like, you know, there's like, how do I do this with my kids too. It's like, don't say I can't, ask how can I,
There you go.
you know. And so it's like, okay, I know that I missed this morning, how am I going to get this in later on today? Like, what am I going to do? What do I need to move around? Or, you know, how do I need to make this happen, rather than just saying, oh, I can't. And
Like rather than saying you get stuck on that what happened, right? Instead you jump to the solution. What can you do? Is that what you're
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
that's what we do at work too. I mean, that's, you know, something comes up and it's like, okay, what
What
now?
now?
That's
What
usually
now?
all it,
There you
you know,
go.
it's like, what now? Like, what do we do? And
What? Yeah.
that kicks your brain into a different kind of mode too. Instead of, you know, coming up with those excuses, now your brain, it's like you activate a different part of your brain, and now
Good.
you're thinking creatively about like, okay, what do I need to do to make this work? So
Good. Good.
the,
What
the,
now? Message Shangrila, Coach Shangrila, and that's when I received message. Okay, let me adjust it. Now
no,
it's
yeah.
good. Move on. Don't worry about it.
No, and sometimes it's the day just gets away. And what
Yeah.
I used to do a lot was like I would get home at 10 o'clock and it's like, oh, I still got to get this run in, you know, and it was like, and like that's the Goggins way of doing it. You know what I mean? It's like, screw it, you know, it's 10 o'clock
Sure.
at night. I'm going to do this run,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know, and I'll sleep later and whatever. But if that gets to a point where then it messes up your sleep, and
Yes.
then you have trouble waking up the next day, or you're
Yeah.
exhausted, or you're not recovered for tomorrow morning's workout, and then you miss that, and then it starts compounding, you know, and then it gets away from you. So sometimes you really just need to like press the reset button and just be like, okay, today's a goner, but let's just start over again tomorrow. So
I'm really happy you're saying what I've been teaching you. That's awesome. It's like the big picture. Like, yes, do whatever it takes, but
within reason. Within reason.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you're still getting your sleep. Make sure you still have your wife or your girlfriend or your kids or your home or your work. All right, good, good, good. Let me see. So, what are the things in terms of coaching? What are the things that you think that's helping you beside the training plan? Do you think the communication? I mean, we do talk a lot. It's like I think
Yeah,
I talk more to you.
no, we talk a lot, and I probably don't. I think there's some things I could like do better as far as feedback and communication.
No, you give a lot.
My perceived effort, I never like fill that one out, but I'm trying to be more in tune about what is perceived effort, and instead of just like a 5 on average, like, how do you feel? Oh, smiley face, good. You know, like, how hard was it? Oh, I was about a 5 or a 6. You know, it's like it's the same answer every day after day. That's not really like quality information. So I'm trying to get better at that. But the things that you do for me, that helps is you, um, definitely pushed me more than I think I'm capable of. And so a lot of my increased speed is due to that, because a lot of the 1600s, like the, 8 by
Yeah,
1600s,
that's so
I'd never
fun.
do that on my own, and I'd never try to do those at a 7-minute pace, but I try it and I do it and I'm surprised, and it sucks. And I, I feel it the
Yeah.
next day, but then I feel the benefits of it, and you definitely have a method to your madness. And once I trust that,
Yeah.
like it works. And
Right.
so, but it's, the science behind it, I guess. And, me as a person and as an athlete, and where to push and where to kind of lay off a little bit. So
Oh
those
yeah.
are the things that help me a lot.
Well, definitely I watch the data, and I don't
Yeah.
want you to push more than you should. But it's amazing how you've been just like doing it, executing things. And I'm like, you know what? And I remind you, you were at like 9:30 on like
Right.
easy pace. Right now, your easy pace is 8:39, and we're going down in terms of running. Same thing with the cycling. When we started, you were at 150
Right.
watts. 150 watts. You're now on 230, going up and up. Because, and even though you did not really race like the big ones, right? That what we planned, you did not stop. And it's insane of your mindset because you did not stop. I mean, you had some what you call it, like outcomes, like for example the accidents that you had last year, the surgery. It was several things that happened, but that didn't deter you to actually get back to it when you're ready.
Right.
And that was, I think, that's amazing. Another thing that I want to point out to that what that you're good at now, that you have improved, is actually your feedback in terms of when you are in hurting or you feel some discomfort.
That's been big too.
That's big.
Yeah.
That's big because in your mindset, the Goggins way, or not, I'm not gonna use Goggins, but but like suck it up, even though it's painful, just do it, right?
Like
Or
it's supposed to hurt, and it's like, well, in some ways, but it's not supposed to be excruciating, it's not
yeah,
supposed to
you're, as
kill
long
you.
as you don't go to hospital.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think one of the conversation that we had is that you don't want to sound to be like complaining or to be like making excuses, like you said earlier. But
Right.
then at the same time, I mentioned to you, hey, Erik, but I could actually help you be proactive before it gets worse, right? Or
Right.
we just need, not maybe, we really just need to listen to your body, which you have been really, really good, and really appreciate that. And then now, so what Erik does, like I said, if you have other mentors or coaches or friends, what he would do is that he would actually take video and, here, coach, it's hurting right here. And when I do this, so he takes me to the process of what he's going through. Okay, let me see that I cover everything, making sure that we're bringing value. So let do we have Tanya, Simon, Kim, Mike, hello. So if you guys have any questions right now, those who's watching, go ahead and ask under the comment. If not, we're gonna go move forward. I wanted to ask you, Erik, go ahead and drink first. Yes, I'm gonna drink. So Erik, I want to ask you, so athletes who were just like you before, at 2:30 minute per 100 yards. That's kind of like the average. That's where I came from too. 2:30, I was actually happy just to go sub 2:30.
Right. Right.
But right now, you're like on 1:30, 1:45. Okay, and also athletes who were used to be like in 150 or even 120. Okay, but now you're on 2:30, and I was telling you like last week, hey, let's aim for that 300 that's coming up. If you're able to go 2:30, it's not a big deal now. Why not 300? Same thing with the running. You see sub 7 now too, and it's
Yeah.
just coming down, just going faster with just that 1 hour or less on weekdays, and then on weekends, right? Still spending
Right.
time with the family. Tell us some tidbits of like, what would you tell those athletes who are actually wanting to be fast, but also like you, a dad or a mom, like they have kids and they have work. What would you advise? Just give us something to work with.
I guess you know, it sounds funny, but like get a coach because
Oh,
there's a lot of science behind it that I still don't understand. I'm starting to pick it up. I'm starting to learn the process, but it's not just about running more, you know, is what I thought it was. I just need to run more and I just need to try to run faster, you know, but doing, you know, you have me on 3 different types of runs. You've got me on the distance runs that are, you know, very, very slow and boring, but they're necessary, you know, because that builds that
meditation.
endurance. And then, you know, getting me to the track and doing those 400s, you know, just going all out, you know, it's like that really makes a huge difference. And then slipping in the 1600s, you know, helps a bunch. So it's the variance in training that I didn't know or understand before, and it's understanding where you're at and when you can push and when to hold back. That's what's helped me on the run. And then the what's cool too is like even without getting necessarily faster, like I notice in my heart rate and in my perceived effort, you know, how maybe I'm not getting faster, but it feels like it's getting easier, or like that,
Efficient.
like I can do it longer, you
Yeah.
know, which is cool and that's enjoyable. Being able to be out there longer and not have it hurt. And then same with the swimming, you know, you just have to, God, the swimming is just like a whole different beast. It's
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
mechanical and there's so much to learn and understand. So I think with the swimming is, and you talk about this and I hear other swim coaches talk about it, is don't try to like fix your whole stroke in one session at the same time. It's like
good.
focus on one thing that you need to change and get that down and then move on to the next thing. And it's going to take time. It's going to take time,
Patience,
patience, and consistency.
patience,
Persistent,
consistency.
consistent effort, you know, with everything. So,
Yeah, and focus on one thing at a time. How about anything related to time management or stress related or how things go, balancing schedules or anything that you can
time
advise there?
management is still my Achilles. Like, time management is so hard and balance is so difficult. I think everybody has the same problem, especially like everybody is busy these days, where none of us are unique for being busy. And yeah, I think you have to figure out what's important to you, and sometimes that means that you have to not worry about what other people think is important for you, and
Mm-hmm.
that can hurt some feelings sometimes. And yeah, the balance is key. And I don't know. My dad always said you can do anything you want to do, but you can't do everything.
Yep,
So
I
it's
agree.
like, so you like, there's like tremendous power in focus, you know, and so pick a couple things and focus on those. And
Yep.
if you do everything or try to please everybody, you please no one. And if you try to do everything, you get nothing done.
There you
So
go. Reminders, everyone. I think your dad and my dad talk.
probably that was a different time, you know. All those guys have a lot of wisdom that we've
Yeah, yeah,
forgotten
yeah.
about. So.
Yeah, definitely. So although you may see that Erik would have like a lot of co-curricular activities, right? But our focus is the full Ironman. You know, at the same time, what we also want to focus is, you know, what makes you happy, right? That's why we're in triathlon. What makes you happy? And I think that's what I mean, that's what Erik is doing. What makes him happy with his family, doing mountain biking, throwing up some crazy, well, not crazy, like fun out of the world races there, just to keep it going with the training, keep the motivation. All right, I think oh, Simon has a question. How many hours are you training a day? So Simon, welcome, welcome, welcome. Actually, I just showed the training peaks of Erik earlier. 1 hour. Let me just show very quickly, and we're gonna end this one. So right here is his training peaks, and it's not always perfect. Like, you know, when I was very new also when I had my coaches, it's not perfect. There will be the red workouts are some things that he didn't do. So as you can see here, Monday, for example, he only did about 30 minutes, 1800. Here, 46 minutes. The rest, probably he did not update it, but I asked him to do body maintenance to be proactive not to be injured. This one is 31 minutes, 1 minute. Oh, you put in extra 2 minutes, Erik. 1 hour. Okay, so this is exactly what's happening. As you guys can see, yeah, something's happening here with travel. So he's putting in 1 hour or less, and sometimes zero when things are not going, just really busy. Okay. So also, uh, yeah. So
And
I
if
hope
I
that
can
answered
just
your
kind
question.
of add real quick, something also was thinking about today was
Sure.
that, like, you see the gray ones, those are like extra credit. Those are ones that I threw in. And
Ah,
so, like, a lot of
this
times
one.
I'll ask you, like, hey, if I have some extra time, is there something else I can do that might
Yeah.
not be
Yeah.
on
Gotcha.
training view?
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
um, so like you can have those contingencies
Yep.
too. Like you can have contingencies for when things go bad, but
Mm-hmm.
you can also have contingencies for like when things are going good. Is there anything extra that I can be doing?
Yep. Yep.
And that's where you have to be careful though not to overdo it. That's why I always check with you first. But
Yeah, good, good. So yeah, so a lot of definitely a lot of communications, um, because like I said, Erik already finished an Ironman. He could do his own training, but how fast do you want to get the results? You can do it on your own, but then the danger is that injury, stress because you have to think about your training. But yeah, so a lot of this one, the gray ones, the contingency. So for example, yeah, he added some great workouts here. Okay. Trail running that was added. That was something for meditation purpose that he does. 5 miles. All right. Anything else on some nutrition? Does he have special diet, Erik? What do you eat? Some cookies that you
um,
post online?
yeah, that's a tricky one. I try to keep it okay, but that can be tough sometimes
With
when
kids.
you're really going hard and you get kind of carb craves. And I like ice cream a lot, so that's been
Okay.
my weakness. But in general, I try to eat well. Even like being in construction, if I don't have time to make my lunch, I make sure that I'm getting good stuff out there. It's hard to eat well with fast food, so like Chipotle is a pretty good staple. I don't do the rice or beans, usually just chicken and the lettuce and some guac,
Yeah.
and keep it healthy.
We can
But
have lunch and order the same thing.
yeah.
Just like Erik's. Yeah, so Erik, for Erik, he does his own thing. Yeah. Unless, so with the coaching, unless a person really needs some help on the nutrition, then I help. But with Erik, I let him be, have fun with it, the ice cream. But definitely on the race, that's when I had to make sure that he's actually getting enough because it could, yeah, throw him off on his race, like bloating, not enough electrolyte, dehydration,
Right.
something goes wrong, strategy. So on the race, that's when I really definitely had to help him. If something, and then sometimes the race don't go well, then my suggestion for everyone, if a race don't go well, the way you wanted it, use that as a learning process. You go back to it and troubleshoot what happened, and then so the next one it doesn't happen again.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so don't be like, oh, no, let's go back and learn from it because it's a learning progress. You always get better and better. I think that answered special diet ice cream. Yeah. All right. I saw some cookies, like I said. That was last week, actually. Someone's getting hungry. I think.
Yeah. Well, the Subway cookies. Yeah. Yeah.
All
I
right.
did give the rest of those to my kids, in all fairness. So I
There
only
you go.
had a few.
Yeah. Anyone else who have questions? I think. So if you guys have, when you're watching the replay, hashtag replay, and then if you have any questions, Erik is very, very humble and kind to and generous to help or like just give any inputs. And if you want, just follow him, be inspired with his nice pictures and videos or his his classic kitchen that he renovates. Well, thank you again, Erik. I know you need to get some rest. And I really, 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 really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. And I would just say, enjoy the journey. Whatever you're doing, just enjoy it.
All right, later.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye bye.
everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.